So this is a 1997 Jeep Wrangler SE with a 4-cylinder engine I'm going to be working on today. It's pretty cold out here, so we're going to have some fun. Basically what I'm going to do is replace the serpentine belt and basically get this car ready for the cold weather. So the serpentine belt is right here. We're gonna first what I'm gonna do is run the engine to warm it up so it's not so cold. So the AC pump is cycling on and off, probably from low system pressure. It's kind of annoying in cold weather. It's and in a Jeep in general, I'm not even sure if AC is really needed, but I'm going to disable it. Yeah, I just disconnected the pressure sensor, and that's gonna keep the cycling from coming on and off. So with the pressure sensor disconnected, the cycling stopped. It's no longer kicking on and off the AC pump. I'm going to secure the wiring with Velcro strap so it doesn't just flop around and get damaged perhaps. So the sensor wiring is secured with a Velcro strap. It's a nice and sunny day, but it's still cold, so I'm going to let the engine fully warm up and use the cooling hose for a hand warmer that comes in handy on cold days. Alright, so the engine is warmed up. We can start working on this. So basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bypass the AC pump with a new belt and replace the upper and lower idler pulley. Shows some signs of wear and a groove worn into it. I'm just afraid that the bearing in here is gonna freeze and damage the belt. That's if you get stranded, it's cost probably a lot more just to tow the vehicle than to replace these. I think the total cost with the belt and the two pulleys were about $66 or something like that. So towing a car is a lot more than that. The upper pulley is 76 millimeter diameter here, and the pulley farther down, which is also acts as a tensioner, that's the 90 millimeter. So those are two different diameters. The upper one is 76. Down here it's the 90 millimeter pulley. Yeah, the one down here shows some signs of wear and there is a groove, so I'm pretty sure it's the original pulley. This vehicle has about 102,000 miles on it. Then I ordered the belt. I ordered the belt for the version which is non-AC, just specify non-AC, and the belt length is going to be right to bypass the AC. I don't want that just spinning there for nothing. These are the parts I'm going to replace. So this is a nice new pulley with a smooth bearing, and it also came with a washer, and these are the part numbers. On this Jeep, what's kind of nice is everything we're going to be removing and working on basically takes the same socket size, 15 millimeter both for the tensioner screw here and the 2 pulley screws. It's going to be very easy compared to some other cars. There's plenty of room to work in, and the routing of the belt is very simple. So first what we need to do is we need to loosen this screw down here, and you can kind of see the bottom of the groove it runs in, and that's how it applies the tension. This is not a constant spring load type tension, but it employs a tensioning screw. So this locks in the system. So first we need to loosen this screw to allow this pulley to move in that groove. So we're gonna throw the wrench on there. It's kind of awkward one-handed, but that's all right. We'll just crack it loose. This is awkward to do this one-handed, but not nearly as bad as working on some other cars. This is a piece of cake. Two-handed, this entire belt change is probably under 10 minutes. It's very easy. To release the tension on the belt, I rigged up an electric drill with a long extension, the 15mm socket, and a flexible joint at the end. So to get better access, I removed the wire on the sensor and I installed a flexible joint, because it has to line up with the screw properly. And the tension is released enough, so we can remove the belt. It's quick and easy. So as a general rule of thumb on any car is that the rib section of the belt goes onto the rib pulleys, and if it's smooth, it's using the smooth top of the belt. So that makes the routing easier. There's also diagrams on the internet how the belt goes on there. On this car it's very easy. Another good thing on the Jeep is that you don't have to fish the belt through the fan. So I'll just unhook it. And here comes the belt. Done. Very easy. I'm gonna save this belt. It's still good, so I can convert this car back to AC in summertime if I wanted to. Next I'm gonna remove the top pulley. Push the fan blade out of the way. I loosened it, both hands. Just turn this all the way out. Get out of the way, you. So there is the old pulley. So obviously we have to save the screw. Let's see what other parts are here. Oh, it has the shoulder and the good car replacing this. I can feel a little bit of resistance and a little bit of brittling. That means the low ball bearings, the ball was digging in to the housing a little bit. So it's a good time to replace this so it doesn't freeze up on me and destroy the belt. Now the new pulley came with a shouldered washer, and that's gonna go on the outside, and the screw just simply goes on there like so, and this area is gonna be making contact with the shoulder here. On these screws I usually apply a little bit of anti-seize. It's not going to harm anything, but it's going to help with preventing the screw from rusting or hard turning in there. This screw's been sitting in there for some 20 years, so deserves a good treatment so it goes in there smooth. It's not going to affect the locking, but it's going to help the screw develop the clamping force so it stays nice and tight. So we're going to reassemble the pulley and just throw it in there. I will just tighten this screw. Get it nice and snug. As a quick check, just make sure that the pulley is turning freely and it's lined up right here with the path, so there is nothing funky going on. This looks good. So next we're going to remove the bottom pulley. The screw is already loose. Let's crank it out. So there's a big fat washer, so obviously we have to save that, and the screw, and then we'll just use the new shoulder in the new pulley. Looks like the diameters are the same. So this is very simple. Tensioning mechanism moves in that groove, and this screw applies the tension, and that bottom one just, that pulley and the screw just locks it in. You can actually see a little marking there where it was in the groove. So this washer with the shoulder, which came in the kit, goes on the outside. And we'll save this and the screw. And we're gonna do the same thing with that screw. We're gonna apply a little bit of anti-seize. I also made sure that the old washer's diameter doesn't touch the outer race of the bearing, because that would lock it up. So we only want to clamp down on the inner ring but not on the outer ring, because that would disable the function of the bearing. So that looks good. Looks like there is a gap. So a shouldered washer to the outside, old washer on the inside. Save the screw. Let's see if there is any marks in. Yep. Looks like that's the way it went in. Now we'll just throw it back in there. Okay. So we're going to just turn that screw in by hand. I can feel it that the screw moves a lot easier with the anti-seize. And back it up a little bit, because that should be free to move for now until we install the belt. Just snug it up so it lines up properly. That is so simple. I'm gonna back up that screw a little more to make sure that it's out of the way for the new belt. New belts are usually a little bit shorter. They haven't stretched with use yet. That is so simple. These Jeeps are great. So easy to work on. Next I'm going to install the new belt, and looks like that's going to take 2 hands, so just throw it in there and rib to rib, smooth pulley on the smooth side on the belt. It's very simple. So once you loop the bottom of the belt in position, might want to throw a bungee cord on the belt just to keep some tension on it so it doesn't fall back down. Just hook it in, then we'll route it across where it's supposed to be. Goes around like so. That's all she wrote. everything looks good. So all we have to do now is apply the tension. So the turning direction is just like tightening a screw. Yep, it's getting tight. Nice. Make sure that the belt is properly seated. As you can see, the new belt does not go on the AC, so it's no longer just keeps turning it for nothing. So before I do anything else, I'm gonna reconnect the sensor and start up the car to make sure that the belt tension is correct. Okay. Good. You don't want the belt too tight or too loose. If it's too tight, it's gonna stretch out. If it's too loose, then you know what's gonna happen. So after you're satisfied with the tension on the belt, all we have to do to finish up the job is to tighten this screw. Good and snug. Alright, that locked in the tensioning mechanism. And this baby is good to go. So basically that disabled the AC. It's no longer coming across and wasting couple of horsepowers to turn this pulley, and by disconnecting this, the AC relay is not going to be kicking on and off in the clutch. So I'm not going to use the AC probably in summertime either. I'd rather just have the top down. So that's a pretty easy job. It goes a lot faster with two hands, but anyway, thanks for watching. Yeah, baby, it's running like a champ.